Hey everybody, welcome back to another EDH video. Today's video is day 23 of 25 days of deck building. We are on Teamer. We're building around Riku of Many Paths. He's a green, blue, red, or a Teamer, if you will. Legendary creature, human wizard. Whenever you cast a modal spell, choose up to X, where X is the number of times you chose a mode for that spell. And the first one is exile the top card of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play it, or put a ++ counter on Riku of Many Paths against trample until the turn. Or create a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying. Basically, we're probably going to be doing the exile top card and putting a ++ counter on Riku. We might do the 1/1 bird thing. We're probably not going to do it very often though, so don't be counting on us creating a bunch of birds. This is strictly just like 40 modal spells I threw in here that seemed good, and there's a bunch of stuff that cares about me casting casting spells like Veyron and all the good ones in Teamer. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's get right into what's actually inside that deck. First up, we always have ramp, and for Teamer we have some good ramp. We're gonna have some good artifacts, some good lands. So first up, we're gonna have Talisman of Creativity, 2 generic, tap it for colorless, tap it for a blue or a red, and it deals 1 damage to you. We have Talisman of Curiosity, 2 generic and taps for a colorless. Does the same thing, taps for a blue and a green and deals 1 damage to you. And then guess what? Talisman of Impulse, 2 generic, tap it for a colorless, tap it and add a green or a red, and it deals 1 damage to you. I don't know why it gave me the old art for that. We have Quandrix Apprentice. It's a Simic. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, look at the top 3 cards of your library. You may reveal a land card from among them and put that card into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any random order. More of card draw, but it lets you get some lands. It's kind of like land tax, but worse, if it makes sense. But yeah, basically there's going to be like cycling through your deck with that. We have Glimpse the Core, 1 generic and a green. It's a modal spell. Search your library for a basic forest card, put it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Or you can return target card from cave card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. There's no caves in here, so we're literally going to be doing the first one. And still getting the modal thing off of our commander. We have Arcane Signet, 2 generic, add 1 mana of any color that are commander's color identity, which is a red, blue, and a green. We have Archmage of Ruins, 3 generic, 2 blue. Instants and sorceries, you cast 1 less to cast, and then whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you draw a card. Archdruid's Charm, 3 green. Search your library for a creature or land card. Reveal it. Put it on the battlefield if it's a land. Otherwise, put it in your hand. Then shuffle. And then put a ++ counter on target creature you control. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Or exile target artifact or enchantment. It's a modal spell, so it's going to trigger our commander, but it also ramp us a little bit. So, or just do a bunch of other stuff. We have Birds of Paradise, 1 green. Tap it. Add 1 mana of any color. Has flying, a little bit of a blocker if we don't need it late game. We block a big flying. We have Baral, Chief of Compliance, 1 generic and a green, or a blue, sorry. Instant and sorceries you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever a spell or ability counters something, you discard a card and draw a card. Felwar Stone, 2 generic, add 1 mana of any color that a land and opponent controls could produce. It's an artifact. We have Goblin Anarchomancer, it's basically just a Gruul, so green and red. Each spell you cast that's red or green costs 1 less to cast. Goblin Electromancer, which is blue and a red. Instants and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Also, just if you will, is it Signet, 2 generic? Tap it and tap 1 generic and make a blue and a red. Journey of Discovery, 2 generic and a green. Search your library for up to 2 basic link cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Or you may play 2 additional lands this turn, and it has Untwine, so it's a modal spell. So it triggers our commander. But it is 6 mana to do both of those. So yeah, that's a lot of mana, but I think it's pretty good. You can just pay 3 and just put 2 into the play. Then we have Soul Ring, 1 generic, and you can tap it for 2 colors. We know this card. We've seen this card like every single deck. Titania's Command, not really ramped because it's a lot, but it's 4 generic, 2 green. Exile target player's graveyard. You gain 1 life for each card exile this way. Or search your library for 2 basic land cards, put them on the battlefield tapped. Or create 2/2/2 bear tokens, or put 2 ++ counters on each creature control. You can choose 2 modes there. Thunderclap Jake, 1 generic and a blue. It has flying, and it says instants and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and it's 2. And it also says 2 generic and a blue. Sacrifice it. And whenever you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy it for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone. We have a Verdant Confluence, 4 generic, 2 green. Choose 3. You may choose the same mode more than once. Put 2 ++ counters on target creature. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand, or search your library for a basic land card. Put it on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. So you can search for 3 basics for 6 mana. It's a lot of mana, but it's a modal spell, so it triggers our commander. We have our target's command, which is a Gruul, which is red and a green. Choose 2. Your opponents can't gain life this turn. Or target's command deals 3 damage to each opponent. You need to put a land card from your your hand on the battlefield, or creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain reach until end of turn. The put a land from your hand on the battlefield is what really ramps us there. If we have a land already, not really that great. Stormcatcher Mentor, it's an Izzet, so a red and blue. Otter Wizard Haste Prowess. Instants and sorcery spells cost 1 less to cast. We're going to be casting a lot of instants and sorcery, so this reducing the cast is good. That's why these are considered ramp for us, because it can reduce more than 1 per turn. We have Modal. We have a lot of modal spells in here. We got a Braid, 1 generic and a red. Choose one. It deals 3 damage to target creature, or you destroy target artifact. The best modal spell in the game, of course. Then we have Archmage's Charm. 3 blue. Choose one. Counter target spell. Or target player draws 2 cards. Or gain control of target non-land permanent with converted mana cost 1 or less. So we're getting rid of. We're taking somebody's Soul Ring. We're getting somebody's Soul Ring for sure. That's literally the only target that we want, I feel like. We might want something else, but Collective Defiance, 1 generic, 2 red. Escalate, pay this cost for each mode chosen beyond the first. So you can choose 1 or more. Target player discards all the cards in his or her hand, then draws that many. Or Collective Defiance deals 4 damage to target creature, or deals 3 damage to target opponent. We can pay 6 and do all. We can do 5 and choose all 3, I think. Then we have Collective Resistance, 1 generic and a green. Escalate, pay this cost for each mode chosen beyond the first. Choose 1 or more. Destroy target artifact. Destroy target enchantment. Target creature gains hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. So this would be a 2-mana destruction spell or a 2-mana protection spell. Either one feels good to me. It's a modal spell, so it triggers our commander. We have Cryptic Command, 1 generic, 3 blue. Choose 2. Counter target spell, or return target permanent to its owner's hand, or tap all creatures your opponent control, or draw a card. So we can counter spell and then draw a card. So it can replace itself and counter spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand, and then also draw a card. So either way, it's just going to replace itself or let us get through by tapping all the creatures. We have Fiery Confluence, 2 generic and 2 red. Choose 3. You may choose the same mode more than once. Fiery Confluence deals 1 damage to each creature, or it deals 2 damage to each opponent, or it destroys target artifact. So a little bit of pretty much removal all around there. It can be player removal. You can choose deal 6 damage to each opponent, so which is choosing the 2 damage 3 times. We have Flame of Anor, 1 generic and an Izzet. Choose 1 if you control a wizard. As you cast a spell, you may choose 2 instead. So target player draws 2 cards, or destroy a target artifact, or it deals 5 damage to target creature. So this can be draw 2 cards and destroy target artifact if you have a wizard, or just deal 5 damage to a creature to kill something. You have Get Out, 2 blue, choose 1 counter target creature or enchantment spell, or return 1 or 2 target creatures or enchantments you own to your hand. So we can do this as like a protection spell or just like a counter spell. A little bit of modal stuff there, so a little bit of protection against creatures or enchantments that we don't want in the battlefield, but also just returning stuff to your hand that needs protected. We have Hull Breach. It's a Gruul. Choose 1, destroy our artifact or enchantment, or target artifact and target enchantment. So you can get both or 1. So either way, you're going to be good. So it's a modal spell as well. These are all modal spells. They all trigger our commander. That's why they're in here. Hull Breach is a pretty good card. We have Inscription of Abundance, 1 generic and a green. Has Kicker, to 2 generic and a green for the kicker. Choose 1. If the spell is kicked, choose any number instead. Put 2+1 counters on target creature, or target player gains X life, where X is the greatest power among creatures they control, or target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. So it can be removal, a little bit of life gain, a little bit of getting our commander bigger. We have Izzet Charm, which is an Izzet, so a blue and a red. Choose 1, counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 2, or it deals 2 damage to target creature. Or you can draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards, which is a little bit of rummaging or looting, or just a little bit of countering or dealing damage. And we had 2 mana shock. Okay, that seems not too bad, I don't think, with all those modes. Then we have Prismari Command, 1 generic and an Izzet, so a 1 generic, a blue and a red. Choose 2. It deals 2 damage to any target, or you can target player draws 2 cards and discards 2 cards, or target player creates a treasure token, or destroy target artifact. So a little bit of removal in 2 different ways. 3 mana shock and create a treasure token. So it's a 2 mana shock, really. Quandrix Command, 1 generic and a Simic. Choose 2. Return target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand, or counter target artifact or enchantment spell, or put 2+1 counters on target creature, or target player shuffles up to 3 target cards from the graveyard into their library. Can great against Thassa's Oracle. Not really. It's not, because they're going to have more than 3 devotion. Primal Command, 3 generic, 2 green. Choose 2, target player gains 7 life, or put target non-creature permanent on top of its owner's library, or target player shuffle his or her graveyard into his or her library, or search your library for a creature card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. So many modes on this, and you get to choose 2. So choose the 2 best ones. You figure out which ones those are. We have Go Forth, which is 1 green. Choose 1. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. Then, or target creature gets +2/+2 end of turn. Can make our commander get a little bit bigger and, get through with some lethal commander damage maybe here. Or you can just, play Great Train Heist for 1 red. Spree, choose 1 or more additional cost. You can plus and pay 2 in a generic, or 2 generic in a red. Untap all creature you control. If it's a combat phase, there's additional combat phase after this phase. You can pay 2 generic. Creature you control get +1/+0 and gain first strike until end of turn. Or you can pay an additional red. Choose target opponent. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to that player this turn, create a tapped treasure token. We have Jessica's Will, 2 generic and a red. Choose 1 if you control your commander. As you cast this spell, you may choose both. Add a red for each card in target opponent's hand, or exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. But if you control your commander, you choose both, and then you get 2 triggers off of your commander, which means you get a +1/+1 counter, and also you get to exile the top card and play it to your next turn. So you actually get 4 with this if you have a commander. We have Rain of Thorns, so 4 generic, 2 green. Choose 1 or more. Destroy target artifact, destroy target enchantment, or destroy target land. 6 mana to destroy all 3 of those if there's 3 targets out there. And then also get all 3 of your commander's triggers. I think it's pretty good. That seems good to me. So you get a 1/1 bird, you get a +1/+1 counter, and then you get another thing. Then we have Return to Nature, 1 generic and a green. Choose 1, destroy target enchantment, destroy target artifact, or exit target card from a graveyard. If somebody has something pesky in their graveyard that you don't want to be there, and they're trying to recur it, be like, no, screw you. I'm going to return to nature your, I don't know, Plague Crafter. They're trying to recur over and over again. I don't know. I think it seems good. Return the favor. 2 red, spree. Choose 1 or more additional cost. You can pay 1 generic, copy target instant spell, sorcery spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. You may choose new targets for the copy, or pay 1 generic. Choose to change the target of target spell or ability with a single target. So this could be 3 mana, change the target, like a 3 mana deflecting swap, pretty much. You have Root Cast, Apprenticeship, 3 generic and a green. Choose 3. You may choose the same mode more than once. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Create a token that's a copy of another target token. Target player creates a 1/1 green squirrel creature token, or target opponent sacrifices a non-token artifact. This can kind of get rid of those pesky artifact decks if somebody's running them. We have Season of Gathering, 4 generic and 2 green. Choose up to 5 paws worth of modes. You may choose the same mode more than once. 1 paw, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains vigilance to trample on a turn. 2 paws, choose artifact or enchantment, destroy all permanents of the chosen type. 3 paws, draw a card equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. So I think you can choose up to, so you can only choose really 2 there, the best ones really. Season of Weaving, 4 generic, 2 blue. Choose up to 5 paws worth of modes. You may choose the same mode more than once. 1 paw, draw a card. 2 paws, choose an artifact or creature you control. Create a token that's a copy of it. 3 paws, return each non-land, non-token permanent to its owner's hand. So I think you can do more than once on those. Then we have Simic Charm. Simic Charm is just a Simic. Target creature gets 3/3 until end of turn. Permanents you control gain hexproof until end of turn. Or return target creature to its owner's hand. You can only choose 1 there. That's why it's a 2 mana spell. You're not going to be able to choose all of those. But permanents you control again, hexproof is still pretty good, and 3/3 it's notable with our commander. So, and then we have Sublime Epiphany, 4 generic and 2 blue. Choose 1 or more, counter target spell, or counter target activated or trigger ability, or return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, or create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, or target player draws a card. If we get 4 of these, we're chilling. If we get 3 or 4 of these off of this card, I think we're chilling. I think we're probably gonna be countering the spell or an activated ability, and then getting the other 3. We have Teamer Charm, which is just a teamer. Choose 1 target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and it fights target creature you don't control, or counter target spell unless its controller pays 3, or creatures with power 3 or less can't be blocked this turn, or can't block this turn. Sorry, I read that wrong. I thought it was can't be blocked. Nope, it's can't block this turn. We have 3 steps ahead. 1 blue, spree, so you can pay an extra generic and a blue, counter target spell, or an extra 3 generic, create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control. or 2 generic, draw 2 cards, and then discard a card. So you can do all of those for a lot of mana. I don't know how much exactly that is, but I think it's 6 and 2 blue. 6 and 2 blue to not win the game. 2's a nail, 5 generic, 2 green. Search your library for up to 2 creature cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Or you can entwine it and do both of those, or put up to 2 creature cards from your hand on the battlefield. So you can search for 2 and put them on the battlefield with entwine. I didn't read the second part because I'm a dummy. But yeah, you can search for 2 and put them on the battlefield if you entwine it. Twin Inferno, 1 generic and a red. Choose 1. Whenever you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Or target creature you control gains double strike into a turn. This is good with our commander because he's going to be getting big off of the casting modal spells. So if we just give him double strike, it can certainly take somebody out. You have Untimely Malfunction, 1 generic and a red. Choose 1, destroy target artifact, or change the target of a target spell or ability with a single target, or 1 or 2 target creatures can't block this turn. So much better than a braid. I don't know. A braid's pretty good. That 3 damage is pretty good. I think it's up there with a braid. I think you run this and a braid. I think they're both pretty good. We have Pick Your Poison. 1 green. Choose 1. Each opponent sacrifices an artifact. Each opponent sacrifices an enchantment, or each opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. You're certain to get at least 2 out of this. Somebody's going to have a Soul Ring, and then somebody's going to have an Arcane Signet early game. We have Mishra's Command, X and a red. Choose 2. Choose target player. They may discard up to X cards, then they draw a card for each card discarded this way. Or this spell deals X damage to target creature, or deals X damage to target planeswalker, or target creature gets +X/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. You can choose 2 there. We have Claim Defiance, X and a Gruul. Choose 1 or more. It deals X damage to target creature with flying, or it deals X damage to target creature without flying, or it deals X damage to target player or planeswalker. So this can go face and then kill 2 creatures outright if you pay like 5 or 6 into it. Also kill somebody's planeswalker. Just be like, nah, screw you, Jace, or whatever. Then we have When You Cast. We have Veyron, Voice of Duality. 1 generic, and whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, it gets +1/+0, or +1/+1, so it actually gets +2/+2, because whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, it causes a trigger ability of a permanent you control to trigger. That ability triggers an additional time. So this works with his health, so he gets +2/+2, or she gets +2/+2, or they get +2/+2. I'm not sure. I don't want to assume their gender. 1,000-Year Storm, 4 generic, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it for each other instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn before this turn. You may choose new targets for the spell or the copies. So this is good because we're casting stuff. Yep, that's why it's in here. It does not cast, but it is cool. Stormkill Artisan, 3 generic and a red. It gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control. And whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a treasure token so it can help us ramp into more modal spells. That's why it's in here, because we're going to be casting a lot of instants and sorceries. And we want to just be able to snowball real good. That's the only reason why it's in here. And also the art's kind of cool. It's like a little dwarf dude. We have Niv Mizzet-Peron, 3 blue, 3 red, legendary creature, dragon, wizard, can't be countered, flying. Whenever you draw a card, it deals 1 damage to any target. And then whenever a player casts or a instant or sorcery spell, you should draw a card. So we're going to be casting a lot of instant and sorceries, so it's going to be able to draw us a little bit of cards. It is 6 mana. I don't know if we're going to want to pay for that, but if we have the mana, I'm sure we will. We have Magnus the red, 3 generic, and is it instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each creature token you control. So with our 1/1 birds, we can get this. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create a 3/3 red spawn creature token. So it creates tokens itself and then makes stuff cost 1 less. It all just makes sense. And it's a 4/5 flying. We have Harmonic Prodigy, 1 generic and a red. If an ability of a shaman or another wizard you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. It's a human wizard. I think our commander's a wizard. I actually didn't check. I think our commander's a wizard, so I think it goes in there, but maybe not. Maybe I should just check. Yeah, you know what? Riku is a wizard, so this triggers his ability twice. So that's pretty cool. You can get 2 1/1 birds, or 2 cards, or 2 +1 counters. We have Archmage Emeritus, 2 generic and 2 blue. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, draw a card. It's a 2/2, a little bit of extra card draw whenever you cast those spells. A little bit of getting more card advantage and being able to cast more and more modal spells. Getting more and more triggers off of our commander, who already draws us cards pretty much. We have Blasphemous Act, 8 generic and red. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield, and it deals 13 damage to each creature. Not a modal spell, not whenever you cast. It's just at the end of the thing where I didn't feel like doing anything with it. We have Urabrask, 2 generic, 2 red. Whenever you cast on this sorcery, it deals 1 damage to target opponent. You add a red as well. Then you can exile it, and the exile doesn't matter. We're not going to read all that. Nobody cares about that. Then we have Riku of 2 reflections, 2 generic, and a teamer. Legendary creature, human wizard. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, you may pay a visit. If you do copy that spell, you may choose new targets for the copy. Then whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay a Simic. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature. I put him in here because he's Riku, and I feel like we have a Riku as the commander. We can have Riku elsewhere, Riku in the deck. We have lands. It's supposed to say lands there. It does say lands there. 5 mountains, 5 islands, 5 forests. Yep, we're doing this. Cascade Bluffs, taps for colors. You can tap a red and a blue, red or a blue into it, and it get a blue, red, or a red. We have Cinderglade. It's a mountain forest. Whenever it enters the battlefield tapped, it enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. I don't know why I said it all weird. Command Tower. Add 1 mana of any color that your commander's colored entity could produce. So a red, blue, or a green. Exotic Orchard. Add 1 mana of any color that a land opponent controls could produce. People are usually going to be playing red, blue, or green. One of those colors. You'll be able to tap for something. Planted Grove, tap for colors. And then you can tap a blue or a green into it and tap it and add a green, a green, blue, or a blue. Frostbolt Snarl enters the battlefield. You may reveal an island or a mountain card from your hand. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tab, and it taps for a blue or a red. Game Shell is the same thing, but it taps for a red or a green. And it's mountain or forest. You have to reveal. These are good lands. I like them. Inland Harbor enters the battlefield tap unless you control a forest or an island. I bet you can't guess the next land. It's definitely not the same thing. I bet you it's a Carpuscent Forest. Tap it for colors or tap it for a red or a green. And deals 1 damage to you. A little bit of pain. We'll take a little bit of pain. We have Catcher of Triumph. It's a forest, island, mountain. Enters the battlefield tapped, but you can also cycle it for 3 and discard and draw a card. And taps for, red, green, or blue. Rejuvenating Springs enters the battlefield tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents. Taps for a green or a blue. Riptide Lavatory, taps for colors. Tap 1, tap a blue, return target wizard you control to its under hand. Somebody's trying to blow up our Riku. We can do this in response. Rockfall Vale enters the battlefield tap unless you control 2 or more other lands. Taps for a green or a red. Rootbound Crag enters the battlefield tap unless you control a mountain or a forest. Taps for a red or a green. Yep. That's a land. There's a dinosaur in the art. Shivan Reef taps for colors, taps for a blue or a red, deals 1 damage to you. Can actually add up over time, but we're not really worried about it. Storm Carved Coast enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. Taps for a blue or a red. These lands are, I feel like they're okay. Sulphur Falls enters the battlefield tapped unless you control an island or a mountain. Taps for a blue or a red. We're probably gonna have an island or a mountain. I feel like. Training Center enters the battlefield tapped unless you can have 2 or more opponents. Taps for a blue or a red. Good in a 4-player pod. We know this card. Vine Glimmer Snarl enters the battlefield. You may reveal a forest or another island card from your hand. If you don't, enters the battlefield tapped. It taps for a green or a blue. Yavimaya Coast taps for a colorless or tap it for a green or a blue. It deals 1 damage to you whenever you tap it for the color. Then we have nothing. We have nothing on the screen. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is day 23. Follow me on Blue Sky. Join the Discord server. Link in the description to the deck list on Moxfield. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.